Hey guys, so today I'm out on site looking at some property, and the first thing I'm going to mention, it's raining. It always rains when I go to look at property, even in May. But I thought it'd be a great opportunity to shoot a quick video and share with you some of the things we look at as builders when we're looking at new property. So one of the first things you'll see on this site, there's a defined ditch line. There's also some riprap. Riprap just means there's generally large chunks of rock. So that's telling me that there's going to need to be a culvert installed for the driveway to go across that ditch. But also, since there's some riprap that's intentionally installed here, and I can also see some netting placed over the dirt, there's probably a stormwater plan that's already been done for this property. So we're going to want to look on the county GIS site to try and find that stormwater plan and get some details. The next thing I'm going to talk about is power and utilities. So what I'm standing on right here is a power vault. So you'll often see on a property listing, power available at street. That means a lot of different things. In this case, that means the vault I'm standing on, that's the power available at street. It still needs a transformer installed on top of it, and that transformer will run power to the house that you build. Now, trees are another big part of acreage sites. There's often a misconception that those trees are worth money because the lumber can be sold to the lumber mill. Let's go take a look at those trees and we'll talk about it in more detail. So let's talk about why those trees cost money to take out. Keeping in mind, it's only the trees we take out that are going to cost money. Let's imagine that the home is going to be placed here where this tree is. One, you got to cut it down, but the other part of that is there's quite the root wad that comes along with the bottom of these trees, and when the tree comes over, that root wad's got to be taken out, and it leaves a pretty big hole in the ground. Since the house would be placed right here, you can't just put some dirt in the hole and call it good. You got to backfill it with rock, do some compaction, and then the foundation can go over it so that there's no settling issues later on. Now, another part of building on acreage is septic systems and perk test approvals. I see some test pits over there. Let's go take a look at those. Now, I'm clumsy, but I'm not that clumsy. I actually hopped in here just to represent how deep these perk test holes are. So there's about 3 or 4 of these around the property here. Based on the type of soil that's exposed, that's what tells the septic designer what type of septic system the property needs. Now, you want to know what kind of septic system because there's different costs associated with them. Standard's the most affordable. That's what you always hope for. The last thing we're going to talk about on this site visit is slope and how it affects the cost and your building envelope. Let's go take a look at that. All right, guys, let's wrap this up today talking about slope. Slope's one of the most crucial things to think about when identifying whether a piece of property is going to work for you or not. The reason that is because it affects you in 2 different ways: usability and total site cost. Let's talk about usability. This piece of property is downsloping. There's about 12 feet of slope from high point to low point. That means that you're going to have a wooden deck with steps down to a backyard, and that backyard's probably not going to be level. You need to decide if that's okay and works for you or not. The other way it affects you, like I said, is total site cost budget. Slope's expensive, there's foundation variance, pony wall, it all adds up to your total budget, and you got to decide whether that works for you or not. If you're interested in learning more about building on acreage, check out our new home building seminar.